So I'm just kind of sitting here looking at my notes for today's video, and we don't got a lot of news to talk about, but what we do have to talk about is actually some pretty interesting stuff. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. And up first, I kind of want to acknowledge a little bit of sad news because there is some sad news this week, and I kind of want to just get it out of the way so we're not ending on a bad note or we're not bringing the video down in the middle of the video. I first off want to say rest in peace to Ryan Carazia, and if you're not aware who Ryan Carazia is, he's the man who's basically responsible for the Death Stranding soundtrack. And now, whether you're watching this or not and you care about Death Stranding or not, that's completely besides the point. I implore anyone to listen to that soundtrack. It is one of the most beautifully written soundtracks to anything I've ever heard in my life. So like I said, rest in peace to him. His music is definitely going to leave a mark, not just on the gaming industry, but on the world in general. He made really great music. And I think that's definitely the saddest news we've gotten this week, at least in terms of just the gaming industry, you know. But there's also some more sad news, and that is the fact that Nibelian is leaving Twitter. And if you don't know who Nibelian is, if you're not on Twitter, then this probably doesn't mean anything to you. But he's like the go-to default account when it comes to breaking gaming news. But thankfully it's not for any sort of bad or negative reason. It's just he wants to focus on some other things in his life, and I think that's great. And now we're going to get on to some positive news here in the gaming industry. So let's start with something I thought was actually pretty interesting and kind of came out of nowhere. And that's the fact that Eidos Montreal is actually assisting on development of Fable. And this is something that I definitely did not see coming, but it's also pretty interesting when you consider the fact that there's another former Square Enix developer working on another Xbox game, and that's Perfect Dark Zero with Crystal Dynamics. And this is pretty hilarious to me because it kind of seems like Microsoft really wanted to acquire the Western division for Square Enix, but they couldn't because they were tied up in this Activision Blizzard deal. And hey, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I do think it's interesting that they've got the two biggest Western devs for Square Enix, or wait, I guess in this case it would be the two biggest former Western devs for Square Enix working on Xbox games. And up next, we got to talk about a game that I am super hyped for, and that is Atomic Heart, because it finally has an official release date of February 21st, 2023. And I cannot stress enough how hyped I am for this game. I remember way back when they first announced the game. I think it was back in 2017, and this was way before Game Pass was part of the equation for this game. And I remember how unique that original trailer looked back in 2017. And if you compare that original trailer to what we saw yesterday in the release date trailer, it's night and day, man. They took it to a completely different level. I mean, this game is giving off BioShock vibes to me. It's giving off vibes like it's a Russian BioShock. It just looks so fucking interesting, dude. And I gotta be honest, outside of the huge games next year like Starfield, Redfall, you got Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation, outside of those games, Atomic Heart has to be my most anticipated game for 2023. And in case you didn't know already, it's coming to Game Pass day one, so you can definitely hop in and check it out as soon as it launches. We've also got some more great news for another game that I'm super hyped for that's coming before Atomic Heart in February, and that is God of War Ragnarok, coming next week. Is sitting at a 95 on Metacritic as I'm recording this. Now, for me personally, Metacritic doesn't really sway me on whether a game's good or not, but I think it's a pretty good tool for developers to get feedback on what people generally do like or dislike about their games. And actually, let me correct myself, it's sitting at a 94 on Metacritic right now, which means that it has matched God of War 2018's Metacritic of 94. But it's a pretty huge deal considering that sequels usually always score less than the original. I guess the original in this case being God of War 4. So I cannot wait to play this game. I'm super hyped, just like I am with Atomic Heart. This game is going to be amazing. I already know it, and I can't wait to check it out next week. And speaking of PlayStation, we also got some PSVR 2 news, and that is that it will be launching February 22nd, 2023 for $550 in the US. Of course, it will be launching, pretty much worldwide, but I mean, that's the US price. Now, for me personally, I'm not too sold on VR. I think VR can definitely be the future, but I mean, there's just not enough there for me yet. It doesn't seem like. Like, there's a few games that I'm interested to check out in VR, like Half-Life Alyx looks amazing, but outside of that, I'm really not sold on the idea of owning a VR headset yet. So this isn't really news for me per se, but I know it is a big deal because it's supposed to be a pretty beastly headset, and I know a lot of people are hyped for it. And then we're gonna round out the video here with some more PC-centric stuff, and that's the fact that Forza Horizon 5 is adding ray tracing during gameplay, NVIDIA DLSS, NVIDIA DLAA, and FSR 2.2 all on the PC version of Forza Horizon 5. And this could definitely be good news for people playing it on console, because this could mean that potentially we could see ray tracing during gameplay on console at some point in an update in the future. I mean, it really all depends on what it looks like performance-wise once it hits PC. What kind of hardware do you need to run it and stuff like that. And then finally, in just under an hour from now, as I'm recording this, we will be getting news on AMD's RDNA 3 GPUs, which, long story short, I am hyped for, because right now NVIDIA needs some competition because they are out of their minds in the GPU market. But honestly, that's all the news I've got for today's video. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the news. Let me know if I missed anything that you're interested in. Leave a like if you like the video, and please remember to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell if you're enjoying the content and want to stay up to date with all of it going forward. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.